Good afternoon, fellow tractor enthusiasts and small businessmen and entrepreneurs. I saw Tractor Time with Tim's recent video on how to price for work and make money. And I've been talking to a few of my friends, and they're trying to do the same thing that we're doing, trying to make some money with our tractors. It looks fun. And of course, we're big kids with big toys. And I've been in sales my whole life in one way or another, even as a kid, going door to door, selling stuff for your little league team to get some money, but also as a professional. And I've learned quite a number of tips and tricks, or whatever you want to call them, techniques, and I wanted to pass some of those on to some of you out there that are thinking about making some money with their tractor or looking for a way to make some money. And some of the basic things that I wanted to pass on to folks out there is that we need to be aware of the value we're bringing to them. Some people are, I think, actually ashamed to or afraid to ask for a lot of money, whatever that might be. $100 an hour just sounds so foreign and obscene coming out of their mouth. But if you're not thinking in terms of hours or an hourly wage, a guy with a pickaxe or a guy with one weed eater, yeah, that's a lot of money. But when you bring a 70 horsepower tractor on the property with a 6-foot or a 10-foot mower behind them, and you can do say an acre of mowing in 30 minutes, that's a lot of value. Now, if any of you have taken economics, and I really strongly urge everyone to study economics. I'm a lifelong learner. I read at least a couple books a month. It's not hard to do, and I suggest that all of you guys, you can get them on Audible. Get books are real easy. And one of the books I really recommend on Basic Economics by Thomas Sowell. And one of the factors you'll learn in pricing is that you'll come across is alternative uses for those resources. Is that some people think, well, they're just going to hire somebody else, and that's true. If you are in a market where everybody owns a tractor, well, there's not very much likelihood you're going to do very well if in the same venue with the same equipment. But say if you're the only one that has a backhoe and people need ditches dug, then you have something to offer. But if everybody in your community has a tractor and a brush hog and doesn't mind using it, or knows somebody that they can pay minimum wage to drive that tractor around their property, then good luck getting $250 an acre. Now, I'm in San Diego County, Southern California. It's fire season all year round here, and we're always in a drought, so there's always dry grass. Just get a little bit of rain and the weeds seem to explode. So people have to get it done, and my opinion has always been there's plenty of work for everybody all the time. And that's just my mentality. I think as an entrepreneur, you have to think that way, that you're going to go make it work, and there's fine work. Whether you have to change your approach, tactic, or equipment, there's something to do. But I either get what I need to get, or I don't do the job. And what I have calculated and kicked over, whatever, I looked at all the parts and moving pieces, and this business is a minimum of $250 an hour. You have to understand there's wear and tear on your tractor, the trailer you're pulling it on, and the truck that you're getting it there on. And I have a big V8, of course. You ain't pulling these around with a little Toyota Tacoma. So you have depreciation, wear and tear, mileage, maintenance, grease, oil, air filters, oil filters, fuel filters. There's a lot of expenses. And I've met people who would charge $100 an acre, and I say, how do you do this? It's like, how do you make any money? If it takes you an hour to get to the job, an hour to mow the 1 acre, and then an hour to get back, and you have $50 in fuel and other expenses. You divide the rest of that $50 by 3 hours, you're not much above minimum wage. And you have to think, another cost that people don't think about is replacement costs. when you wear out this tractor, you can see I have a new Ventrac here, and the camera's sitting on a Kubota M7060 I just bought. And I got a 6-foot mower deck behind that, and it's sitting on a brand new 20-foot tilt deck trailer. I have to have good equipment to get there. I can't be broken down on the side of the road or on the job making excuses. You want your equipment to look well, perform well, and get you home safely so you're not stranded on the side of the road. And I've met people that with this $100 an acre mentality, it's like try to be competitive, or they think that's a lot of money and they're happy to get it. And I come in behind them. I've talked to some of these accounts that they've left behind because they've gone out of business. Once their tractor's broken, they can't afford to replace it. Sometimes they can't even afford to repair it. So keep that in mind. I'm out here to make a profit. If I'm not putting, tens of thousands of dollars in my bank account, what's the point? I don't need the practice. It's dangerous. It's risky. If I cause a fire, another cost $2 million liability insurance I have. If I cause fire, break something, or run over somebody's foot. All these costs you have to be aware of, and if you're aware of them, just being aware of them, I think it'll give you the confidence to speak with the value in your tone as you're explaining these costs to a customer. And if they don't get it, if they don't want to, they just think that they can't afford that, that's fine. You need to walk away. You just need to say, I'm really sorry, I can't help you. I'm not a volunteer. I don't need the practice. Sure, you can volunteer your services if you want. Every now and then I do. I just like, hey, there's not a big deal, it's close by, or whatever, my church or something that needs a helping hand, I can throw in some free labor and equipment. But you can't make a living this way, and you're really going to risk much more in your equipment, liability, and not even doing a good job if you're in a hurry because you're just not making enough money. That's just, wow, I gotta hurry up. This is taking too long because I'm only getting $100, and now it's taking me 3 hours, and you can't be thinking like that. So keep those costs in mind. Also keep in mind, there's another factor that people don't consider is, what does a customer want to do? A customer doesn't want to go rent a tractor. He doesn't want to worry about getting it to his property and then getting it back and making sure it has fuel and not damaging it. And does he know how to ride a tractor? If he only has one job that he needs done annually, like around here, it's mowing their fields or mowing the property or mowing a perimeter 100 foot or 50 foot around their maybe 5-10 acres for fire prevention per code. They're not experienced on a tractor. It's a scary thing for them. And if they're okay with it, then fine. That's that market. That person is willing to do that for themselves. They're not willing to. That's the way I've done a lot of my jobs and gotten a lot of my equipment. Somebody wants $1,500 to trim a tree, and I'm like, man, I can get the best chainsaw money can buy and climb the tree, and ladders, and I was a Marine, so I know how to use ropes and rappel and have the harnesses to climb and keep myself safe, and I can do that. And at the end of the day, I'll still have the chainsaw in my possession, and then I will save money. But a lot of people, they're not willing to do that. Like, no way, I'm not climbing a tree. No way, I don't know how to drive a tractor. Oh, that's too scary. It's too much money. Like, I just want you to do it. And just that value alone, that they can just point to you, you say it's done, like I think it's 1-800-GOT-JUNK, point and it disappears. That is a value. And if you listen to these commercials, that's what they're pushing. All you need to do is give us one call, point, and it disappears. That's what my customers are doing when they give me. It's like, yep, no problem, I'll take care of it. I'll do some properties that maybe they're 5, 10, 15 acres, and I'll have that done before Monday. It's Thursday. They've already gotten a ticket from the county, from code enforcement, saying it needs to be mowed right away, or they're going to get fined. And then I'll call them a couple hours later. It's all done, and they're amazed. It's such a load off their mind. That has value. You have to factor that in. If you're, wringing your hands and, hat in hand, like afraid to ask for $100, you can get easily 500. You're going to be leaving a lot of money on the table. And some of you guys might be thinking greedy and all this kind of stuff. I hear that word a lot. I don't know what it means to a lot of people, but I don't think it means the real meaning of the word greed. From my understanding, the word greed means that you're willing to cross moral boundaries to make money. If you're willing to lie to a customer, or not do a full job or what you told them that you're going to do, or take more than you promised or whatever, then you're greedy. You're willing to cross moral boundaries to get that money. And that it could be for $1, it could be for $1 million. So it's not about the amount. It's about whether you're doing what you said you were going to do, or you're doing an honest job. So don't think that you're asking $1 million. I saw a comment there that, like, oh, don't try to make $1 million off one person. Like, why not? If they're willing to pay it, you're bringing $1 million worth of value there. That's what I'm going to do. If I see, that's what I'm getting paid for. The idea too. I'm also getting paid to. This is why capitalism works, is because, and why Marxism doesn't, because if you see, I have 4 tractors. I ran 4 tractors, over $100,000 in equipment. That I took the risk. I had the idea to get together. God gave me the idea, like, go mow weeds. I was a truck driver at the time and not mowing because it was raining so much. And I was saying, God, what am I going to do? Come, the end of the month, I'll be short a couple of weeks' pay here. And God just gave me the idea. Hey, go, mow these weeds, because with the rain, weeds going to come. But I took the risk to go do these things and put, thousands of dollars, month after month after month, year after year, to put into this business and equipment, phone numbers, insurance, and skills and time to learn how to use this equipment to do a good job, that I can actually bring value to a customer and make that money. So these are things you got to add into the equation. And I think if you do this enough, you'll see it. And when you tell them the price, while you're wringing your hands and all worried about asking for, $300, they're going like, oh my gosh, like, I would have paid $900. I want to pay $1,000. Like, you'll start to see, like, wow, how much money did I leave on the table? I could have got more. And because you got every penny that they were willing to pay, doesn't mean you're greedy. I get more than they're willing to pay many times, more than they thought they were going to pay, more than they intended to pay, many times, because I'm able to point out the value that I'm going to bring. I'm able to point out the cost that they're going to avoid had they tried to do it themselves or something else, and upsell them. Hey, while I'm out here, I can take care of that stuff. I can, fix that pad for you, straighten out that road for you, and it's cost effective for me because I already have the equipment there. It's a cost effective for them because they want that done too, and they're thinking, sometimes I said they're thinking a less amount, but I'm able to get more of them because of sales training that I've gone through, and a lot of that sales training is psychological, understanding where the customer is or where I am, what they want done, what value you're bringing to them, how to present these ideas to them, your expenses, the convenience to them, the efficiency that you're going to bring to them, and the load off their mind. One of the best sales trainers I've ever heard and listened to, and I still listen to him. His name is Brian Tracy. I recommend him, Brian Tracy, The Psychology of Selling, and it really will help you understand the sales process. It's not trickery, it's simply understanding where they are, as a consumer, as a customer, as a potential client, and where you are as a salesperson. What are you bringing? How do you present it? And these are very valuable insights that I really recommend you to make your job and your ability to get money a lot easier. And that's what I think it's all about. Because if you're making money, you're going to be happier. And I'm not saying money makes you happy. What I'm saying is, if you're making a real profit where you can buy all this equipment, you can go to a job and you're not stressed about, oh man, I hope I bid this right and it's taking a little bit too long, and I broke this and I got to wear that out, I got to get that welded and I got to get some more replacement parts, and like, man, I'm not going to make any money on this. Like, you can't be thinking like that. You want to be able to have, I got $50,000 in the bank, all my equipment's paid for, and I'm gonna help this person out and give them a free whatever, an extra hour, do an extra acre, clean that ditch out for them, straighten out there, no problem, no charge. You can't do that. if you're stressed over the money, if you have no money in the bank. Same for us as Christians. You know, you can't be generous if you're broke. I believe God wants us to prosper, not by ripping people off, but by being diligent in work and bringing value to people. Zig Ziglar, I remember him saying that you can have anything you want in this world if you will just help enough other people get what they want in this world. And that's what it's all about in capitalism. It's a volunteer, people giving you something of what they consider less value for something they consider more valuable, and that's their little pile of money for a big pile of value and service that you're bringing to them. You need to know how to bring that to their mind, attention, sell it to them, and then get it in writing. Quick word on contracts. You have to have a good contract. Read contracts. Most contracts are written by the contractor in their favor. Pick some up, look them up online. I take a lot of tips from them. There's a line in there that says all extra work will be done at additional cost. So there's no freebies. You know, if you can, if you want, but like, you know, those things, they call it scope creep. Like, hey, can you do this too while you're at it? How about this little extra, little here, little there, and I quickly point that out. You know, that's going to be extra, no problem. You know, put 50 bucks, 100 bucks, just kind of throw it out there. And usually they'll say okay, because they understand it is worth it. Now, I especially do this if they've ground me on price. I've said whatever, 800, and they're like, well, how about 6? How about 650? You know, it's like, usually I'm pretty firm on my price, you know, unless it's really easy and I got a lot of profit margin there. I got, you know, in my mind, oh, okay, it's got to take me 2 hours and I'm going to make, you know, 800 bucks. You know, I have a lot of leeway, in my opinion. Like I said, all my equipment's paid for, I have money in the bank, I'm here already, might as well do the job. But if they're nickel and diming me, grinding me, and it's a minimum, my minimum is $350. I don't get off the couch and go do a job and drag my equipment, you know, $100,000 worth of equipment down the road, risking a head-on collision, which I had last year. Thank God I'm okay and everything got replaced and fine. But you don't go do something for $100 and then end up not doing it, or you know, I qualify them over the phone. Are you ready to do this today? You know, you have pictures, because I don't do free estimates. If you want me to get up off my couch and go to your place, and out here we have a lot of rattlesnakes. I'm not, you know, stomping through an acre, 2 acres, you know, risking, you know, 4 feet tall weeds, risking getting bit by a rattlesnake. So I'll ask them, you know, you ready to do this? Can you send me some pictures? And I can tell, you know, by experience, yeah, that's, you know, $250 an acre, $350 an acre. And then I have apps on my phone that I can measure the area of how much I'm actually going to be mowing. Well, it's 6 acres, but I only need these 2 done. Like, no problem. I can measure that. I can move the pinpoints around on my app. It's called Measure, and then Land. There's another one I forgot, but it gives you the VPN. I mean, the APN tells me the assessor's parcel number, so I know who owns it and how big it is, and where the boundaries are of the property. That'll help me, because sometimes it's kind of like, where does your property end? I really recommend getting some of these apps so you can go out there and do good. If the customer doesn't know, but I do a lot of properties that they're absentee owners or out of state owners. You know, they might live in another state and they say, hey, you know, they find my name on Craigslist, say, hey, could you go mow my property? I require 50% up front, because after I do them, send them pictures of the work completed, again, I may never see or hear from them again, and I get, you know, how am I going to hunt them down? So anyway, yeah, they're no problem. They'll send me 50%, you know, Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, something like that. But again, get it in writing, get your stuff in writing, look at these contracts, cover yourself. My contract also says I'm not liable for anything. Broken sprinklers, collapsed lines, you know, even waterways that I've changed. If they want me to grade something and I end up redirecting, you know, water into somebody else's neighborhood, maybe it goes through their front living room, floods their property, like, I'm not responsible for that. I am just working for you at your direction, to the best of my ability. And it even says, my contract says that the client agrees to indemnify me. If I get sued, they're paying for my attorney. If I start a fire, I do have a liability insurance, but they're paying for it. They're on the hook with me, because same thing with a broken window. Say your mower hits a rock and goes through somebody's windshield or window, or dents somebody's paint. I tell them, why should I pay for that? It's your rock, your property. I just happen to be on the mower. Like, that's not fair, is it? And they mostly say, yeah, you're right, whatever. So, move your car, or put some cardboard or plywood in front of your windows, or I'll just avoid that area at all if you don't want to take that risk. But usually, if you're upfront about that and honest and just matter of fact with them, they get it. They understand that. I always rather, like, over promise and or under promise and over deliver. Same thing is I'd rather scare them about all the dangers up front and have them say, oh, that's okay, no, that's okay, I ain't worried about that, yeah, go ahead and do it, then have one little thing go wrong and it'd be the end of the world. They just want to sue and make a big problem, a big whining about it, and some terrible things happen. You got to be prepared for that. Have a good contract. Have them read it, sign it, give them a copy at the time of signing. I usually just take a picture and text it to them. I keep the original, but they have a copy right away. And leave a comment. I love learning. Like I said, I'm a lifelong learner. And give me some examples of what you've encountered, and maybe we can compare war stories, and I'll make another video. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to reading your comments. Thank you so much.